We're going to look at Batista and Lucas Lepri. First off, if you can see here, Lucas Lepri has what is single leg X guard, and Batista manages to step off out of that. So he kind of pushes that leg from the hip. There we go. And then he manages, as Lucas tries to underhook, which you often do to go for the sweep, there's a gap, and he kicks his leg up and out, like so. Okay. And now let's just have a look at the pass. So he gets a good grip over the top, takes the hip. Lepri is going for the half guard sweep. So we're really going to get a battle here about half guard versus half guard passing. And then you'll get to see Lepri, Batista get the pass in the end. So here he is. Batista gets his knee through a bit. Lepri's underhook is pretty loose now, so it's just on the near hip, not the far hip.
Fair bit of pressure. Gustavo's like 100 kilos, Lepri's a lightweight. So
100? I don't know, he's 100.
He's 100 right now.
Oh, okay, alright. He's got a very good crossface here, and you'll see he uses that to pass. So that Lepri's trying to turn in, but that's very difficult with those grips. And he manages to pull his knee through and finish the pass. Okay, so let's have a look at that again in a bit more detail. Okay, so I might just stay there, Liv. She can go back a tiny bit.
Are we stopping sharing?
Forward here. Yeah, we'll stop sharing. Actually, I'll just go through the first part. Okay, so here he's stepped off, Lucas has turned in, and just that little grip change. Okay, so see how he's got the pants there. So let's go through that. So Batista's got his knee in here like this, like in the middle, and he wants to. There's usually this battle here for an underhook, right? So if I get an underhook on Liv here, then I'm controlling the half guard battle. And usually if Liv gets the underhook, then she's controlling the half guard battle and she's got a chance to sweep. So obviously like passing and sweeping are both very good options from half guard depending on who's winning the grip battle. So one really important factor about the underhook though, and what's going to like be a big factor for this, for why Batista could pass, is a huge factor with the underhook is whether you can, like one of the aims of it is to get your opponent in the same line as you and bring them forward, okay? And you'll see two things that Batista used to stop Lepri being able to do that. And because if you can bring them forward, like high up on you and in the same line, you'll be able to get up, okay? So if Liv has her underhook here and she's able to knock me in the same line, so see how we're both kind of parallel, okay? Then she's got good power to bring me forward. I've got nothing to hold on to, okay? If we go back, if I'm able to be very heavy with my body, so if I'm more cross body, like this, okay, this way, I've got all my weight on this underhook, and if she tries to bring me forward now, she's gonna struggle, okay? And I also now have because I've gone cross body, I also have my other arm available to use a crossface, which will assist in that, okay? So I get my shoulder under the chin and Liv starts trying to bring me forward. My weight can go through that arm, through the shoulder, through under the chin there. So you get like multiple things working to make it difficult for Liv to use that underhook to get up. So let's just have a look now. If we turn, one problem of going low like this is it can be hard to, like, well, how do you stick yourself to your opponent? Because if I grip here, Liv could still maybe bump me forward, and I can kind of lose that, okay? So you see this drawstring grip, it's a very common grip. I talk about this a lot. I always talk about like getting around the hip, you know, getting like a good grip on the hip and gripping onto the pants here, okay? If I've got a grip on the pants, they don't really, like the pants don't pull up higher, okay? So if she tries to pull me now, I'm kind of stuck. If I'm holding the the gi jacket, that could definitely slide. And I'm less high, sorry, less low. So we're gripping here. But to get that, he's kind of started a little bit higher. To get that, he's gone over with the right arm first, okay? So by going for the first grip, instead of going for the cross grip first, look, I go cross face and I'm now like kind of, it's hard to get my head and everything low. Like in reality, if I'm doing this, Liv's bumping me forward, it's hard to get the pants. But if I go over, okay, this kind of sticks Liv here, makes it a little hard for her to get up immediately, while I then take this grip, okay? And then once I get this grip, I can come back and I'm low down, like see where my head's positioned, and I can get a nice cross face, okay? So let's just take a look at that part again. Okay. Cool, you can see that now, yeah? Okay, so watch this. He steps off, his hands come over the top, grips nice and deep on the back here, and then he's going to take his pant grip.
So the preacher can go under the leg.
And then he can start looking for this cross face. Okay. The other good thing about this, actually we'll stop sharing again. Sorry, I'll just get it up to. Where were we? What are we on now? We're in a different match. Okay, great. Liv, do you want to?
I don't know what you just did. Did you want to fix it? What did you do?
You just went to the next one.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah. Cool.
Just go back.
Yep, we're back.
Oh yeah, right. I'm bad.
You're not that bad, Zach.
Alright, so it's gone right to the end of the match for some reason. So if you look here, no, a little earlier, there's also the risk of the knee shield. Okay, so as he steps off, Lucas has kind of two options here. He tries to get a knee shield. You see he actually had a knee shield in and it's been pushed off. By swinging that arm over the top, that switch-based posture actually allows him to push the knee shield off. So see that? Where Lucas has the knee shield. By swinging his arm over, he has like a better, if you watch here, there you go. He's like popped that knee shield off. He's changed the angle with his hips. And now he can sort of force that half guard. Okay. All right, so let's maybe I'll just sort of show what I mean. So go back. So.
This way?
Yeah, we'll go here. So,
no,
this is fine. So he stepped off. He's kind of in this position here, and Lepri has the knee shield, and he's framing actually. He's framing with this arm. Okay, so one way to beat a knee shield that's on the hip like this is to switch your base. If I keep my right hand where it is and move away, I end up giving like a lot of space. I don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't really help too much. But if you come over, you can kind of like roll away from the knee shield. See where the, let's turn a little, see the knee shield's in front. I can kind of like, from here, I can kind of like roll my hips higher up like that. Okay, and I've peeled the knee shield off, and that now gives me access. I've got my arm over. I can start to access the hip. I'm now stuck in the half guard. I can then start to come back and look for the crossface. So I'm starting to get good positioning to try to finish now for the knee guard or to pass through half guard. Right.
Does that apply to a high knee shield as well?
Not so much. The high knee shield would be a little more difficult. Like from up here, it's a little more difficult to clear with my hand. But a low knee shield, sorry, but actually you can.
But I think Gustavo forced this because he had such a strong grip.
At the time it was low. It'll be easier from a low knee shield to roll your hips over the top. You can do it from a high knee shield. It's a little more risky because sometimes Liv might be able to like control. If I swing this arm over, she catches it, I might get like swept as I go over. But it is possible. All right, so let's continue. For those who've enjoyed this so far, I do have 2 instructionals out on both playing half guard and on passing half guard. So you can check those out through BJJ Fanatics. They're both very well reviewed, and use the link below to help me out. Cheers. All right, so now Lucas is, he wants to sit up to try to use the underhook. So you can see he's gripping the far leg, and he wants to sit up to bump. Usually you want to bump your opponent forward. Try to make the most out of your underhook. And then if you can bump your opponent forward, you can start to come up for the sweep again. But Batista does a good job at fighting that. Okay, brings him back down from being up, and then he works to free his knee. Okay. So you're looking here, he's got a good tight control. Lepri's got a pretty loose underhook now. It's definitely not anywhere near the far hip like you'd want it. Good pressure. You can see that like Lepri's really trying to turn in. That crossface is keeping him flat. And there we go. He kicks himself free and he's past the guard now. Okay. All right. So let's go through some things that I think are really interesting there. So if I'm playing half guard, let me look from this angle. And Liv might just, for the sake of it, sometimes have to posture up, but you don't have to now. But so I've got what I want is a good underhook, like to the far hip. Okay, so if what Lepri wanted to get here was like a far hip grip, like this. Now I'm like attached to Liv's hips. He basically only had the near hip, so he pretty much only gripped like here. I'm not as attached, so if Liv wants to move her hip out, she kind of can. Oh, even just this way. Yeah, and I can't really do a lot to fight that too much with that. So one thing you want to do to get your underhook deeper is sit up. If I sit up, I can now actually reach to the far hip. Okay, but if I sit up and Liv's like turning the corner a bit, then I still kind of can't, right? She's like, I still actually can't reach here if she turns that corner. Well, that's this positioning we were talking about. Okay. Yeah, so what you can do is sit up and then try to use that pressure of them driving you back to make them post. Okay, so I use this a lot in my half guard. If I get here, even if it's a shallow underhook like this, and I get to here, Liv starts to try and drive me back, and I make her post. I bring her forward by kneeing her in the butt. Okay, look at that. She has to let go. Okay, if she, well, maybe I won't even get her to show that if she doesn't, but if she grips my head and I knee her in the butt, she has to post. Okay, otherwise she'll go face plant and I'll get up anyway. Okay, so let's scoot back ourselves here. So what you can do is like start getting up. They start pressuring you back. Go. Or if they don't, sorry. If she doesn't pressure me back, I keep getting up and I keep getting a better underhook, okay? Like, you keep working at that. But if she starts driving back, I bump forward, and now I get my grip I wanted anyway, okay? I start working to come up to my knees and start to finish the sweep, okay? So what Batista did to counteract this is where I think is really, really clever. Some people sometimes do this to me. It's very annoying if they use this particular strategy, but moving your hips away. Okay, so let's turn. I'm gonna get our butts facing you for a moment. So if Liv drops her knee to the ground here, like this, like people normally do it for a knee cut, it's actually in very good range, especially if I grip like, even if I have a shallow underhook, to get that posture we were talking about. Yeah, good. Even if we're here, I've got good access to knee her in the butt. Okay. You see that? I can really like get a good knee, good leverage if it's nice and high. Okay. But what Batista's done instead, especially early on, he's turned his knee out into the stomach and the hips are away. He's actually dropped, instead of going up on this foot so much, he's actually dropped that knee to the ground. Okay. And look at this. When I try to knee Liv, I can't reach her hips, and if I open my legs, I actually give room to start to try to pass. Okay, so by a bit counterintuitive, but instead of dropping your knee to the ground, keeping it facing your opponent's hip, stomach here, and having your hips move away, makes that very difficult for me to use that strategy that I wanted to use before, okay? And then slowly, let's turn now. So slowly, when he has that pressure, he starts to drive Lepri back down, okay? Let's turn. Let's really turn so you can see. Yeah, just here, yeah. Okay, so now get your crossface. So then once Lepri's back down, and there's no momentum for that sequence that Lepri wanted. Like Lepri wanted to be kneeing and getting momentum. That's gone now. He's basically here, okay? So now it's okay to put that knee back on the ground. If Liv starts putting that knee down, I still can't really fight against that. And Liv can start using her right foot to pry her left foot free and start to pass. All right, so let's have a look at that in action now. So it kind of, he takes his time. You gotta be patient with these sort of things, but so he's reached over. Lepri starts to get up because he wants some momentum. So here he's up on his elbow. And you'll see, do you see here, if you look at the angle here, we can see that's Lepri's left leg underneath, but we can't see the knee on the ground, right? Because the knee's actually now centered into the middle of the hips, okay? That makes it very difficult for Lepri to use that bump forward action that we were talking about, okay? Whereas later you will see the knee drop once he's got him down. So he's slowly starting to drive him flat now. So again, look here, look at that left knee is right in the center of the hips here. It's not to the ground. He's not doing a knee cut yet. And now he's, see, okay, now the knee's on the ground, but Lepri's dropped down. So we go back. See, now Lepri's like basically flat on the ground. That crossface is heavy. It's going to be very difficult for Lepri to bump him forward. And so that's where the knee's starting to drop down. Okay, you see it start to drop to the ground here. And then he's going to start trying to, see, he almost used his other foot, felt his base was a little bit off. Soon enough, that other foot's going to come through. As he, you got to take your time sometimes, don't rush things too much. Because he's got such good positioning, it's a good time to wait and make sure everything's right. So he keeps making sure that grip on the hips tight, really deep crossface here. He's reaching like to the middle of the back, shoulders coming under the chin, and he's going to use his right foot in a moment to step on the free leg to free his knee. Okay. There you go. He kicks.
Frame there, but it doesn't.
He's kicked, and that's freed himself into side control. Okay. Now, I just want to go over one thing that I do as well. So if I borrow Liv again.
Where am I?
Because I'm aware of this being an issue, where people will keep their knee in the middle, and it becomes hard to like bump people forward. So when I'm playing half guard, maybe we'll move this way so that both cameras can see. Yeah, so sometimes we're here, so maybe step up on that even, and I don't want this knee in the middle because I can't play my half guard game properly. It also stops me sitting up. So a lot of the time I'll actually do this scissor action to try to force the knee to the ground. So I make my legs go like this. My top leg catches behind the knee, my bottom leg catches the ankle, and I kind of do this, and it takes the knee and forces it down to the ground. Okay, look at that again. So anytime Liv stands up on this, okay, do it like hips away, sort of. So it Liv's out here. Even however you want to do it, like this. This is less how it feels, but.
I don't.
Okay, so I'm here. My back leg is going to force the knee down to the ground. It's counterintuitive. You feel like you're giving them the knee cut, but actually what I'm doing now is making that knee in the butt available. Okay. Once I've done that, I can actually knee towards the butt. Whereas before, if the knee's in the middle, I can't bump well. Okay. So you might be getting up, force that knee to the ground, bump, and then that gives you a chance to work to come up. Any questions, guys?